Welcome, my dear students. We have completed our first chapter. Now let us start with the second chapter. Our second chapter, parallel lines. We have already discussed about parallel lines in the previous class. What are parallel lines? Lines which are coplanar. Coplanar means which lie in the same plane. Lines which are coplanar and which do not intersect each other are called parallel lines. Now in this figure you can see two parallel lines. Both the lines do not meet each other and they lie in the same plane. So we'll give the name as line L, line M, line L parallel to parallel symbol line M. Line L parallel to line M means let us consider these two lines and a transversal. If you have any two lines and a transversal, let us talk about the angles formed here. As you can see, there are total 8 angles. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Out of these 8 angles, these 8 angles can be classified as corresponding angles, interior angles, alternate angles. In your 8th standard, you have already learnt about these types of angles. Let us do a quick recap of these angles. Before I start with corresponding, alternate or interior angles, we all know that angles are also formed in a linear pair. For example, if you have a line this way and you have a part this way, here you have two angles which are adjacent angle. What are adjacent angle? Adjacent angles have a common arm, neighboring angles. So this angle and this angle are adjacent angle and they form angles in a linear pair. If you add these two angles in a linear pair always make 180 degree. After talking about angles in a linear pair, now let us start with the corresponding angles. Now in this figure, which are the corresponding angles that you can mark? Let me start with the first pair, that is this angle. The first angle, don't take the adjacent one, take the third one. That is the clue for you to remember. The first angle and the third angle. Now if I take this angle out and I see the shape of these angles, let me show you. First angle was this way, this angle, and the third angle was, it started from this point and you got it this way. It is found that the shape made by a corresponding angles pair is of a letter F. Okay? F. It can be this way, it can be this way, it can be this way. So corresponding angles roughly make the alphabet F shape. This is a clue to remember corresponding angles. So if I name this figure as, now for our convenience I have named the angles. The lines are L and M. Remember, they are not parallel, they are intersecting lines, and P is the transversal. Any line that intersects two given lines in two distinct points is called as a transversal. Here we have two lines and one transversal. Let us talk about corresponding angles once again. That is angle A and angle E. First and third. Angle A and its pair is angle E. Let's talk about the second pair of corresponding angle. I'll talk about the left side angles only first. Then angle D, you will not take the next one, you will take the angle which comes after that. D and G. So next pair of corresponding angle, angle D and angle G. Once again check the shape of these two angles. Angle D is this one. So it's somewhat like this. And angle G Angle G is starting from here. So this is our angle D, and here comes our angle G. Both these are corresponding angles. Now left side angles we have taken. Let us talk about the right side. Angle B and angle F. Angle B and angle F. Both are corresponding angles. Angle C and angle H. Angle C and angle H. So these are the four pairs of corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. You have to make a note of these angles in your book with the figure. After corresponding angles, next let us talk about alternate angles. Now alternate angles are of two types. One is interior alternate angles and the other type is exterior alternate angles. Interior alternate angles lie in the inside of the lines which are given. That is inside. So they are little bit closed type. So and they make Z shape. They make a Z shape this way or this way. So you can see Z shape here. That is angle D. Angle D coming in this way. If you want to complete the Z, angle F. Angle D and angle F. Pair of alternate angles. Similarly, we have a Z on the other side. Let me highlight that Z. This angle C. So angle C, and to complete the Z we have this part. Angle E. So alternate angle, one angle lies on one side of the lines, two given lines, and the other pair lies on the other side of the given lines. The one is C and the other is E. So next pair, angle C and angle E. For you to remember the alphabet Z. So these are alternate angles which are interior alternate angles. Now we have another type of alternate angles called as exterior alternate angles. Exterior alternate angles are very easy to identify. One angle will be on the exterior part, open part. That is, if you see angle A is in the open part, angle A is outside, lying outside. Directly opposite to that A will be the other open angle, that is angle H. You can't take G because both lie in the same side. A, then opposite side is H. So angle A and angle H. This is A. Angle A and angle H are exterior alternate angles. Exterior alternate angles. Similarly, can you locate another pair of exterior alternate angles? Now A we have taken. The next angle which is lying outside exterior, B. Its opposite angle will be, same side you should not see. B's opposite will be G. So these two are other pair of exterior alternate angles. Angle B and angle G. Hope you understood what are alternate angles. They make a Z shape. Two types. These are interior alternate angles and these are exterior alternate angles. In the question, if they specify exterior alternate angles, then only you have to mention about exterior alternate angles. Otherwise, you only write about interior alternate angles, that is Z shape. After discussing about corresponding angles, alternate angles, now it's time for us to discuss the most easiest type of angles, that are interior angles. Interior angles make a C shape, this way or this way. So which are the interior angles here? Angle C and angle F. Interior angles. Which are the interior angles? interior angles are angle C and angle F. These two, they make a C shape. See, angle C and angle F. Angle C is still here and angle F is from here to this part. Next pair of interior angles are, look at the opposite side. That is angle D. Angle D is this angle. To complete the C, we have, okay, angle D and angle E. Angle D and angle E. They both make C shape. Okay, this way or this way. Now, there is a speciality of these interior angles. The sum of interior angles will be 180, will be equal to 180 if these two lines were parallel. But in this case, we have done this in Euclid's postulate, remember? In this case, these two lines are intersecting. So, the sum of interior angles will never be equal to 180. If the lines are parallel, then the sum of interior angles will be equal to 180. Okay. Now, in page number 13 of your textbook, you have this figure. You have this figure given. And they are asking us to complete the boxes. Pair of corresponding angles. Angle D and angle, how I told you to remember, don't take the next one, take the third one. First and third, second and fourth. Similarly, this side, first and third, second and fourth. So, D and H, A and E. Angle A and angle E. Angle C and angle G. Angle B and angle F. Don't take the next one, take the third angle. After leaving one angle, you have to select the next angle for corresponding angles. Now, in the next part, they have already given us alternate interior angles and alternate exterior angles. Just go through the names of the angles given, check whether we did it right. They make a Z shape. So, angle C and angle E, angle B and angle H, both are interior alternate angles. Alternate exterior angle, one will be D, directly opposite, which is on the open end, F. D and F, A and G, angle A and angle G. Then we have the interior angles. Interior angles are C and H, B and E. As we discussed, same way we wrote the names of the angles. Okay children, now let us discuss few more characteristics of the angles. Now in this figure, for any opposite angles means angle I's opposite is angle L. Any opposite angles, that is angle I, will be congruent to angle L. Similarly, which are the opposite angles that might be congruent, that will be congruent? Then angle O's opposite is angle N. And last, angle M congruent to angle P. So, when two lines intersect, the pair of opposite angles formed are always congruent. Then, we already saw that angles in a linear pair are supplementary. Okay, angles in linear pair are supplementary. Linear pair angles, how do they look like? They may come in this shape, they may come in this shape, they may look like this, they may look this way. If you add both the angles, you will get always 180 degree. This way, this angle and this angle. Angles in a linear pair will make 180 degree. Now next thing, if any one pair of corresponding angles are congruent, for example, let us take the corresponding angle K and O, no? K and O are corresponding angle. Angle K is this way, angle K, and angle O will start from here, angle O. They make F shape, right? Suppose angle K is given congruent to angle O. one pair of corresponding angles are congruent, then all pair of corresponding angles will be congruent. If one pair of corresponding angles are congruent, then remaining all pair of corresponding angles will be congruent. That is, I will be congruent to M, J will be congruent to N, L will be congruent to P. Okay, one more characteristic. Then the next characteristic is same like corresponding. If any one pair of alternate angles are congruent, K's alternate pair is N, right? If K is congruent to N, if K is congruent to N, then the other pair of alternate angles will also be congruent. That is, L will be congruent to M, angle M. Understood? The last one, if one pair of interior angles are supplementary, then the other pair of interior angles will also be supplementary. Now let us start with practice set 2.1. Remember, my dear students, we have learnt that if the lines are intersecting, we saw the names of corresponding angles, alternate angles and interior angles. But here, these two lines are parallel. When two lines are parallel, again in your 8th standard, you have learnt that the corresponding angles are congruent, the alternate angles are also congruent, and the interior angles are supplementary. The sum of the interior angles are supplementary. This will happen only when the lines are parallel. Okay? If the lines are not parallel, they may be congruent or may not be congruent. That depends upon the sum. When the lines are parallel, corresponding angles are congruent, alternate angles are congruent, and interior angles sum make 180 degree. After keeping all these points in your mind, let us start with practice set 2.1. That in the figure 2.5, line RP is parallel to line MS. Line DK is the transversal. Angle DHP is 85. Find the measures of the following angles. Let us take one angle at a time and find the answer. So, we know angle DHP equal to 85 degree. You have to write the reason as given. Angle DHP is 85. They are asking find the measure of angle RHD. RHD means this angle. As you can see, angle RHD and angle DHP, they both form linear pair angles. And angles in a linear pair make 180 degree. So let us write the first step. Angle RHD, or you can write DHR, both are one and the same angle. I'll write RHD plus angle DHP is equal to 180 degree. And you have to write the reason. They are linear pair angles, no? So, just a linear pair is enough. This reason will be enough. Linear pair. This reason will be enough. Linear pair. Now, we don't know how much is RHD. So, write RHD as same. Copy the name as it is. Plus, we know the measurement of DHP. DHP is 85. Write down the value equal to 180 degree. So, therefore, angle RHD is equal to 180 minus 85. 180 minus 85 will be 10 minus 5, 5. 7 minus 8 will be 9 and 0. So, this will be RHD is equal to 95 degree. Highlight the answer. Be happy. So, before we forget, we will mention the angle that we got here, 95. Okay. So, first question we answered. Now, the second question is, find the measure of angle PHG. PHG. Where is PHG? P, this angle, PHG. Now, if you want, you can again take linear pair. We know that angle DHP and PHG. If for your convenience, I'll draw it separate and show you. This is DHP. We know 85 degree. No? Now, PHG. So, PHG is here. Again, these both are linear pair angles. So, same way, you will get the measure of angle PHG. Understood? What will be the step? Angle DHP plus angle PHG. This is PHG. PHG. They again make 180 degree. Reason? Linear pair. Linear pair. How much is DHP? DHP is 85 plus PHG we don't know is equal to 180. So therefore PHG will also be 180 minus 85, which is equal to 10 minus 5, 5. 17 minus 8 will be 9 and 0, no? So angle PHG is also 95 degree. So both the questions answer we solved by using linear pair property. Now if you want clever, if you are much more clever, you can use the vertically opposite angle property also. Now here, for you to be more accustomed with linear pair angles, I used this step. You can also see that was the reason why I asked you to write 95 degree here. These two are opposite angles, and few minutes back we discussed that opposite angles are congruent. So you can directly write this step as angle DHR congruent to angle PHG. Reason? Vertically opposite angles. So if DHR is 95 degree, PHG will also be 95 degree. This will also be 95 degree by vertically opposite angles property. You have to write the step as vertically opposite angle. That will be much more easier than using the linear pair property. Whichever you like, you can do the sum by your method. You might have seen that whichever method you use, answer you get the same. Now let us solve the third sum. They are asking find the measure of angle HGS. Locate angle HGS. Angle HGS. As you can see, I'll highlight it for you. Angle HGS is this angle, and we have angle DHP. They both make corresponding angles, and we know that corresponding angles are congruent if the lines are parallel. Okay, so you can directly write it as angle DHP congruent to angle HGS. Angle DHP congruent to angle HGS. Reason? Corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are congruent if lines are parallel. So one thing I missed out. Before we write this step, let us specify that the lines are parallel. Given in the question, no? Write it. Line HP, line RP, not HP, line RP parallel to line MS. Specify this step. And then write the name of the corresponding angles which are congruent. So if DHP is 85, angle DHP is 85. So therefore angle HGS will also be 85 degree. Okay, highlight it. Now let me write down the measurement that we got here, 85 degree. Now the last question is MGK. Find the measure of angle MGK. You can apply any property but I know you will apply this property. We can clearly see that angle MGK will be congruent to its opposite angle HGS. So you'll write angle MGK congruent to angle HGS. Reason: vertically opposite angles. This reason you will write vertically opposite angles. So if MGK, if HGS is 85, how much will be MGK? Angle MGK will be 85 degree. So in this way, we have got all the measurement of 4 angles. So I hope all of my students understood the properties of corresponding, interior, alternate, linear pair and vertically opposite angles. With these properties, we have solved the first sum of practice set 2.1. Similarly, we will be solving the other sums. Till we meet for the next time. Thank you, students.